Welcome to the future of wellness. Introducing the ABCs of CBD, your gateway to understanding and harnessing the incredible benefits of cannabinoids for a healthier life. My name is Nurse Sherry Mack, and I'm the Chief Nursing Officer of Bloom Hemp, CBD, and Holistic Caring and the Green Nurse.
And my name is Elizabeth Mack, and I am the CEO of Holistic Caring and the Green Nurse and of Bloom Hemp. Unlock the power of cannabinoids. Imagine starting your day with a clear mind and body that feels balanced and rejuvenated. With the ABCs of CBD, that's not just a dream, it's your new reality. Our comprehensive guide dives deep into the world of cannabinoids, shedding light on their power to transform your daily wellness routine.
Okay, and we are going to get started on this handy dandy slideshow. Life doesn't give you days off. That's why there is Bloom Hemp. So the ABCs of CBD by Nurse Elizabeth and Nurse Sherry Mack. And we're going to get started on this slide deck here. Have you ever heard that cannabis saved my life? Cannabis gave me my life back. Cannabis is giving me a better day. Cannabis has improved my quality of life. Or cannabis is helping me to live my best life. So the therapeutic use of cannabis brings that high, that hope, inspiration, growth, and healing across all of the health domains: spiritual, physical, emotional, mental, and social. And so the therapeutic use of cannabis has been defined by the American Cannabis Nurses Association as the use of cannabis products specifically for medicinal, wellness, and healing purposes. It's personal and subjective to each consumer, with objective criteria being improvement in one or more of the 5 health domains without negatively impacting any of the others. And we're going to specifically be talking about CBD and the minor cannabinoids today. So cannabis saved my life, and hemp helped me to heal without the high. And this is my celebratory jump, weaning off of 18 pharmaceuticals. Really, really grateful. So what is CBD?
Well, CBD is a cannabinoid, and the cannabinoids are molecules that interact with the endocannabinoid system that we're going to be coming up with soon. But CBD is, everywhere, right? The buzzwords, you can find it at the gas stations and at dispensaries and at online hemp markets. CBD can be found from the cannabis plant, and that is where you're going to get the 0.3% or more THC at the dispensaries. CBD can also be found from the hemp plant, which is what we work with at Bloom Hemp. It is available as an isolate, the single molecule of CBD, broad spectrum where the THC has been extracted, and then full spectrum where you've got the plant, whole plant with the trace amounts of THC. 0.3% is the legal definition and allowable with the federal government. So cannabinoids are neuroprotectants and antioxidants. And what does that mean? Well, they help to bathe the central nervous system and protecting it. And the government took out a patent 20 some years ago as this. So cannabinoids are found to protect cells from damage and decay following ischemic insults, such as stroke and trauma. And cannabinoids may hold therapeutic potential to treat neurodegenerative diseases, such as Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and dementia.
Okay, and again, this is just a dictionary definition from Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Cannabinoids are molecules that interact with both the endocannabinoid system and the endocannabinoid dome. They're naturally occurring, biologically active chemical constituents such as cannabidiol, cannabidiol, from cannabis or hemp, including THC in particular. So we're going to be talking about CBD in particular, but we wanted to talk a little bit about the different types of cannabinoids because there are a lot of different types.
There are 3 different types of cannabinoids. So endocannabinoids are the endogenous molecules that we make ourselves to basically bring us back to homeostasis. And they are responsible for promoting that Goldilocks zone where everything in your body works just right. They're synthesized on demand in response to stress, are dissipated in microseconds as soon as they're used. And basically, they facilitate cell signaling and communication. There's also the phytocannabinoids. Those are the ones that the cannabis plant makes, CBD and THC, but also CBG, CBN, THCV, CBDA, CBGA. We're going to go through all of those in depth. And then the synthetic cannabinoids that the pharmaceutical companies make, like Marinol, synthetic THC, Epidiolex, purified CBD, and then Sativex, which is that workhorse 1-to-1 oil. And basically, if you look here, THC mimics anandamide. Anandamide and 2-AG are the two endogenous cannabinoids that we make. And basically, THC mimics that and fits right into that CB1 and CB2 receptor, just like our endogenous cannabinoids. And it can facilitate that homeostasis and cell balancing. All of the other phytocannabinoids can also fit into these receptors in some ways, not necessarily exactly like THC does, but they all can modulate these receptors in the endocannabinoid system. The phytocannabinoids are about 10 times stronger than the endocannabinoids, which is why they impact us with a much heavier punch. You don't necessarily feel anandamide working like you do THC because it locks on for a lot longer and is a lot stronger.
There we go. So endocannabinoids and phytocannabinoids. So endocannabinoids are made in the body. Anandamide, 2-AG, they bind to the CB1 and CB2 receptors and influencing the endocannabinoid dome and the other receptors. Endocannabinoids are lipophilic, fat-soluble, and made upon demand. So the plant phytocannabinoids mimic our own endocannabinoids, and you can see this here in this chart.
It's all about the chemistry. So there are three components to the endocannabinoid system. So the enzymes that synthesize and break down the endocannabinoids, the receptors that are on all of our cell membranes. Think about little doorbells outside of your cells. Those are the receptors. And then the endocannabinoids or the phytocannabinoids are the keys, the ligands that actually bind to and activate those receptors to really restabilize communication and adjust the flow. Generally, it's a downshift. When the endocannabinoids are needed, everything in our body is running a little hot. And endocannabinoids can downshift and regulate our systems and bring them back to balance and ease.
Okay, again, this is just another diagram to show the complexity of the endocannabinoid system. So just imagine your body as an umbrella. You're an umbrella, right? We have all of our 11 organ systems, our immune system. We're compromised of 3 trillion cells broken down into 11 organ systems, our immune system, regulated by the master regulatory system called the endocannabinoid system. So the endocannabinoid system blankets on top of our entire umbrella because we have cannabinoid receptors on all of the cell surfaces of all of our 11 organ systems and at the neurotransmitter signaling junction site. So the endocannabinoid system is a balancing system that acts like a switchboard or a feedback loop to correct cell signaling to restore balance. So stress in our body triggers the release of our own endocannabinoids, the anandamide and 2-AG, to activate CB1 and CB2 receptors. Phytocannabinoids, CBD and THC also activate these CB1 and CB2 receptors. And the goal is homeostasis among all body systems. So the body functions optimally when it's in the relaxation response. And that's what this is all about, promoting relaxation.
Yeah, and we can become deficient. So when people ask about, the endocannabinoids and the phytocannabinoids and why we might want to supplement, well, as we age, right there, once you're 25, you start to diminish and decline in the production of the endocannabinoids. So aging is the number one. There's also genetic issues on why we fall deficient. And just like you need to supplement with vitamin D if you're not out in the sun every day, getting enough of the vitamin D and eating the right foods that are bringing you to balance on all of your minerals and vitamins, etc., you need to supplement. We all take a multivitamin. Cannabinoids are similar to that. Also, our diet. So poor diet, fast food, fried food, fake food, lack of exercise, obesity, chronic stress, and trauma. Stress really downregulates the system. So if you're stressed, you need to supplement that straight up. Poor sleep, insomnia also diminishes the ability of this system to regulate. And think about when something gets you off on the wrong track, you just stay on the wrong track. This can help you bring back getting out of the stress response so that you can sleep, so that you can heal and do well. Smoking, drinking, polypharmacy, all also affect the endocannabinoid system in a negative way. So we want to use as little pharmaceuticals as possible, and don't smoke and don't drink. Social interactions, we've diminished them, as well as our laughter and touch. So all of that connection, oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine, all of those good hormones and neurotransmitters, we need to upregulate those. And the endocannabinoid system supplementation can help us get back on the right track.
Okay, activating the endocannabinoid system and the endocannabinoid dome. So the goal, obviously, is the relaxation response, right? We see a lot of people that come to us in crisis that are struggling. Something just isn't right. They're merely surviving. And the goal is to get them into the thrive zone. And there's many different ways that we can do this. So we can modulate the endocannabinoid system with or without cannabis and hemp products. And you can see we put cannabis and hemp products at the bottom, but all of these other activities, food is medicine, whole foods, adaptogens, supplements, and herbs, regular exercise, motion is the lotion, meditation, prayer, breath work, mind-body medicine, vagus nerve stimulation, massage, therapeutic touch, acupuncture, chiropractic care, essential oils, aromatherapy, energy healing, Reiki reconnective healing, sound healing, chanting, music, drumming. As we said, eliminating alcohol and quitting smoking, restorative sleep and rest, social connections, laughter and play. All of this nuances the endocannabinoid system and the endocannabinoid dome, and cannabis and hemp products do as well. And oftentimes we'll see consumers that come to us that have done all of these things. They'll say, Sherry, I've done all of these things and none of these things are working. Well, guess what? You introduce cannabis and hemp products, you start to correct cell signaling, and these other modalities are going to help as well. Anything else to add?
It's a snowball.
It's a snowball.
Yeah, you get the CBD in there, and all of a sudden everything else starts working.
Yeah.
And you need less of it, right? So the phytocannabinoids mimic the endocannabinoids. As we showed in the previous slide, THC fits right into that CB1, CB2 receptor. All of them do in nuanced ways, whether they're an agonist, antagonist, an allosteric modulator, which we'll go through a little bit. But literally, this is the key. Think about the master key. When you go to a hotel and you've got the housekeeping being able to get into every room, that is really how the phytocannabinoids are, and the endocannabinoids hitting those doorbells on the right cells to reestablish homeostasis.
All right. So this, again, plant phytocannabinoids interact with the endocannabinoid system, the endocannabinoid dome, and the receptors. We're going to be going through all of these. CBD, cannabidiol, is in all Bloom hemp products. CBG, cannabigerol, is in all of these products here: Digestive, Recovery, Trilogy, Focus, our T65 gummy, CBG isolate. CBN is another plant phytocannabinoid, cannabidiol. It's found in the Essential Calming Tincture, Advanced Trilogy Tincture, Advanced T65 gummy, also as an isolate. We're going to be talking about CBC, which is found in the Full Spectrum Citrus Tincture, the Full Spectrum Natural Tincture, and as well as our Essential and Advanced Tincture in trace amounts. And then THC in particular is found in all of our Full Spectrum products and trace amounts, and specifically in our T65 gummy. So all of Bloom Hemp Full Spectrum products that have the legal amount of THC, less than 0.3%. And then THCV is in our Bloom Advanced Focus Tincture. And boy, do we have a surprise for you. We just did a study on that. We're going to talk about that in these upcoming slides.
Okay, so, and we're going to have a few of these little bridge slides, and this one with the heart on it is the full spectrum plant. So full spectrum means the whole plant with the trace amounts of THC, that 0.3%, and that is the base of most of these products.
And this is going to be the full spectrum products.
And the full spectrum lineup. So this is an overview of the plethora of tinctures. There are 8 tinctures at Bloom Hemp. Most of them use full spectrum. We only have that one on the far right, the broad spectrum, but it is the starting point for medical patient dosing. We want them to have as much formulation as they can of all of these synergies because of the entourage effect, where 1 + 1 + 1 isn't just 3, but it's more like 20 when you put together the synergies of all of these. And the other thing is the cannabinoids are put together in synergistic combinations. You'll see CBD, CBG, CBN, etc., all bringing in, as well as terpenes that play a second note on the entourage effect, bringing in their own medical benefits, these plant compounds that we're going to educate you more on terpenes as well. And then adding botanicals really is that 1-2-3 punch, where we can pull in the other synergies of the plant medicine kingdom and how these all work together.
Yep. And so full spectrum, the entourage effect, the whole of the plant is greater than its individual parts. And we see best results when people are using the full spectrum products.
Yep.
Okay, now we go to broad spectrum, the little heart here. So this is whole plant extracts without the THC. So you can see here and the terpenes. So basically you can see that this is all, it's just missing the THC, but it has the terpenes. And we're going to talk about a couple of products here. So broad spectrum CBD at Bloom Hemp is whole plant formulations, including CBD, minor cannabinoids, terpenes, cannaflavins, bioflavins, but the THC has been removed. Broad spectrum is THC free. So the broad spectrum benefits retains the entourage effect for sensitive people that have issues with in their workplace, where they cannot have THC.
Federal employees, cops, firefighters, healthcare workers.
Yep. Broad spectrum extracts contain multiple minor cannabinoids and other beneficial plant compounds. So they produce the entourage effect, but without the THC in it in particular. And in Bloom Hemp, there's a couple of products here. Broad spectrum CBD tincture is USDA organic CBD hemp extract combined with MCT for optimal phytocannabinoids, and 0 THC. So in this particular formulation, you can get it in 1,200 milligrams or 1,800 milligrams. The minor cannabinoids in this blend include CBC, CBDV, CBG, natural terpenes, and 0 THC. And then on the other side, we have, that's a tincture, and then we have the capsule. So broad spectrum soft gel, 25 milligrams of CBD, has the minor cannabinoids in it, terpenes, 0 THC, mixed with a tiny bit of MCT oil, and it comes in a 30 count and a 60 count. And so the broad spectrum hemp extract gel caps contains all of the goodness of the whole plant medicine tinctures with the minor cannabinoids and the terpenes, but without the THC. And then we talk about isolates.
Okay, so CBD isolate is really just CBD, right? When you think about the chemical extraction, everything else has been removed and it is just purified CBD, about 99% pure. So it is the isolated molecule of cannabidiol. It's been separated through clean extraction, CO2. It can break the blood-brain barrier faster than any other version of CBD, meaning that you feel the effects almost immediately. And the benefits are commonly used for pain, anxiety, insomnia, inflammation, epilepsy, and can be a good choice for sensitive employees. Again, those that are exposed to testing, lab testing for THC. CBD isolates are great for amplifying and boosting the effect of other cannabinoids and minimizing those psychoactive effects. So usually it's an and. So a lot of times people will boost other products with it and just really try to add to the molecules of CBD, which could be also necessary for people that have epilepsy, needing high doses, other autoimmune conditions, etc. And then you can fold it into your do-it-yourself projects at home, where you want to formulate your own CBD tinctures, lotions, balms, and gummies. So you can take one scoop, and there's a little scoop that comes in there that you can scoop out, and you can sniff it. You can also just take it straight into your system that way. Adding it to your favorite beverage or meal, stir it in into your coffee or your tea, etc. Or you can hold it under your tongue for 30 seconds, which is really what most people do. They'll take that scoop of 50 milligrams, put it right under their tongue, sort of smooth it around, get it right into the oral mucosa, and let it absorb right into the body. And of course, you can bake it into your cookies and that sort of thing. So it's a lot of fun to use an isolate.
Yep. And we also carry not only CBD isolate, but CBG isolate and CBN isolate. And over the holidays, we have an amazing recipe that we put out.
It's in the Bloom blog, where you can take all three isolates, put them into your can of butter, and then make cookies with them.
Yep. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, so we're going to talk particularly now just about CBD in general. CBD is in all of the Bloom products, and I'm going to go over this. So CBD is a multi-targeted molecule. It actually works on over 70 targets in the body, binding with numerous cell receptors throughout the body, directly and indirectly initiating biological complex processes in the body, mind, and emotions. And you can see that there is a lot of studies here that has been done on CBD. And in particular, June of 2018, Epidiolex was approved by the FDA. So it's a pharmaceutical version of CBD for rare pediatric seizure disorders that do not respond to anti-epileptics, in particular, Lennox-Gastaut syndrome and Dravet syndrome. Also, you can see here in this slide, there is clinical evidence for using CBD for these conditions. We love CannaKeys. Big shout out to Dr. Yue Bleshing for creating CannaKeys. It's a beautiful repository of research and information on various different conditions. And there is clinical evidence for using these. And all of these links are live links that go to actual research in particular.
So if you're accessing this through the network, which all of you are, there's a PDF as well as the slides, and you can click on these links and go right to those studies.
Great.
Okay, next one, cannabigerol, CBG, and all of the different products you can find it in. CBG is also a multi-target molecule that binds to numerous cell receptors throughout the body, directly and indirectly affecting all of those biological changes in body, mind, spirit. It is known as the mother of all cannabinoids. It is the biosynthetic precursor to CBG, CBGA, and then CBG can then form into CBDA, THCA, and then those are the precursors to CBD and THC, etc., and downstream. So when you think about the embryo, it is CBG. CBG benefits can include analgesia, anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory. It's a neuroprotectant, can help soothe neuroinflammation, help preserve and promote gut health. It can be very useful in IBS and other colon issues, stimulating appetite. Antibacterial, antifungal. It's an immune modulator, meaning it can help the immune system go up or down depending on what the body needs. It can help lower our blood pressure, aiding energy, antidepressant, bone stimulant. There's clinical evidence to use CBG for Parkinson's disease, and the Bloom products that are using a lot of it, Digestive, Recovery, Trilogy, Focus, the T65 gummy, and the CBG isolate.
And then now we're going to be talking about CBN. So it's found in Calming, Trilogy, T65, and our CBN isolate. So CBN, again, is a multi-targeted molecule that binds with numerous cell receptors throughout the body, directly and indirectly initiating complex biological changes. So CBN is degraded THC in cannabis plants as they age when they're exposed to oxygen, light, and heat, and it converts. So you can see, so if people have a lot of old cannabis on board and they want to extract it, they'll have a lot of CBN in their extraction in particular. And so CBN benefits is an analgesic used for acute pain, antibacterial, anticonvulsant, anti-inflammatory, neuroprotectant, anti-insomnia, can be sedating, and can also provide a little bit of appetite stimulant. There is clinical evidence for using CBN for these particular conditions: cerebral palsy, epilepsy, insomnia, and psychoses. And we have in our Bloom Hemp products, CBN and Calming tincture, Trilogy tincture, T65, and our CBN isolate.
Yeah, and I was chuckling thinking about CBG is the mother of all cannabinoids, and think about the baby, the embryo. If you want CBG from fresh plants, you've got to harvest them early. While CBG is still prevalent before it turns into the other acidic compounds that become CBD and THC. CBN is the end product, right? So think about the old cannabis. It's not found very, very highly in concentration in plants that are growing. It really needs some time to age. So where CBG is the babies, CBN is our elders.
There you go. I like that. Mm-hmm. All right, so CBC.
CBC. All right, so CBC, cannabichromine, found in some of our products. Again, it's a multi-target molecule that affects all of our systems, body, mind, spirit. It is a CB2 agonist with effects on pain, helping with analgesia. It's very antibacterial and can be helpful against MRSA, as is CBD and some of the other ones, but this one in particular. CBC is also highly anti-cancer, anti-tumor, inhibiting breast cancer cell growth and metastasis. It's an antidepressant, anticonvulsant, anti-inflammatory, neuroprotective agent in the cases of Huntington's, Parkinson's, and other adverse effects of THC, so helping modulate that CB1 receptor. Bloom products, natural and citrus tinctures, are high in CBC and are found in trace amounts in the other full spectrum products.
Okay, and now we're going to talk about my favorite.
Everybody's favorite.
Everybody's favorite, THC. So THC is a multi-targeted molecule that binds with numerous cell receptors throughout the body, specifically using CB1 and CB2 directly and indirectly, initiating those complex biological changes in the mind, body, and emotions. And so Marinol was synthetic THC that was approved by the FDA in 1985 for the treatment of nausea and vomiting associated with cancer chemotherapy. And you can see this is very, very widely studied. Mm-hmm. And you can see here all of the different conditions. There is clinical evidence for using THC for all of these conditions in particular. And again, THC mimics our body's anandamide molecule. Anandamide and THC molecule structures are very similar. And this allows for THC to mimic anandamide by connecting to the entire nerve cell receptor in its place to initiate those complex biological processes to restore the body back to balance.
And again, all live links. So when you're looking at the PDF, you can go there. So THCV is our last minor cannabinoid we're going to be talking about, tetrahydrocannabivarin. And the varins are very special. The CBDV, THCV are really good for CB1 modulation. And we'll talk about THCV specifically here. THC is an agonist at CB1. THCV is an antagonist, especially at low dosing. This creates opposing effects. THC can cause euphoria, as we know, but it can also cause dysphoria in high doses. THCV causes euphoria at low doses and can be dysphoric at high doses, especially the synthetic version of it when people are using that in research. THC increases appetite, can stimulate the munchies. THCV decreases the desire for food and is an appetite suppressant, helping with weight loss. So really, CB1 antagonist, CB2 agonist, which also helps on immune modulation, inflammation, and other biological issues, especially with respect to appetite, diabetes, obesity, etc. CB2 agonism can be very helpful. So THCV is a very useful component. Benefits are non-impairing, helps with focus, energy, cognition, depression, metabolism, obesity, diabetes, and weight loss. And there is clinical evidence for using THCV for addiction, alcohol dependence, cannabis use disorder, and diabetes. And it is highly focused in the Focus Pro product.
Yes. Okay, and we're going to talk about the Focus product in a couple slides. So we want to talk about terpenes because terpenes are also part of the entourage effect and part of the cannabis and hemp plant that are found in our formulation. So terpenes are organic compounds that produce specific smells and tastes. They're found in cannabis, hemp, essential oils, plants, trees, and foods. In cannabis and hemp, the terpenes help ward off attacks from animals, insects, and fungus during the growth cycle of the plant. When a cannabis or hemp plant goes through the curation process, the terpenes become oxidized, resulting in what we know as terpenoids. So terpenes are simple hydrocarbons, whereas terpenoids are a modified family of terpenes with various functional groups and an oxidized methyl group, depending upon the number of carbon units. So terpenoids are classified as monoterpenes, sequestering terpenes, diterpenes, sesterpenes, and such. And terpenes also contribute to the entourage effect, and they have their own healing properties. And the entourage effect suggests that utilizing cannabinoids and terpenes together produce a more potent medicinal effect, such as the whole of the plant is greater than its individual parts. We have a couple of other slides on terpenes.
Yep. So, and this highlights some of the common terpenes that you will see in this plant, the top terpenes. And then again, these are live links. If you click on them, you can dig deeper and find out more about all of them. The ones that are in bold are featured in most of the Bloom Hemp products. So linalool, limonene, pinene, beta-caryophyllene, myrcene, humulene, terpinolene, all of those are in there, and they really do play nicely in that symphony. And just to talk more about the entourage effect, we all love the soloist when we go to Symphony Hall and you hear the orchestra of that solo violin, that solo piano or trumpet, etc. But really, when the orchestra synergizes with each other and they play together in the harmonies, that's when you have the most beautiful music. And that's what the cannabinoids and the terpenes and even the botanicals fold in to create.
Okay, so symptom targeted therapies.
This is a fun slide.
Yes, terpene and cannabinoid grouping. So, when people have different conditions or different symptoms that they're looking to manage, you can combine different various cannabinoids and terpenes together to get a therapeutic response. For example, in agitation, combining THC and CBD, maybe in a 1-to-1 with linalool and beta-caryophyllene, you're going to see decrease in agitation. Anxiety, combining CBD and THC, low dose THC and linalool might help with anxiety symptoms. Too much THC can make anxiety worse. In particular, with psychosis, we want to avoid THC. So CBD, pinene, and limonene combined has actually been beneficial for psychosis. Insomnia and restlessness, THC and myrcene. Throw in a little bit of CBN and CBD in there as well, and you're going to have more of the entourage effect. Anorexia, people that have issues with eating, combining THC and CBG, beta-caryophyllene and myrcene can help with eating and appetite stimulation. Patients that have issues with aggressive behavior, THC and CBD in a 1-to-1 with a little bit of linalool, so that lavender, that calming terpene. Depression, a little bit of THC, limonene to perk up, and some CBD to modulate. So you don't, too much THC can make depression worse, but a little bit with the combination with CBD and limonene can help. And then modulating the pain response, combining THC, CBD, CBG, beta-caryophyllene with other various terpene combinations can actually help with pain and analgesia. And then memory. Right? Alpha pinene can be very, very stimulating and a beautiful terpene to stimulate. Just think of pine trees. You feel very alive. Cognition, improving cognition with a little bit of THC. And then when we're looking at neuroprotection, combining CBD, THC, CBG, THCV in conjunction with some of the other terpenes. And then for those that may have Alzheimer's disease, reducing the form of the beta amyloid plaque formation, combining THC, CBD, THCA, CBG, beta-caryophyllene, and pinene for those specific types of symptom-targeted formulas.
And we do work a lot with clients with dementias, all kinds of dementias, and these kinds of formulations and the way that you add in these micronutrients along with lifestyle mechanisms that we can work with patients, and really you need counseling, coaching together with the products. It's not just the products. We know many patients that have gone to dispensaries and said, I tried this, it didn't work. Well, you need to work with us, and we can help you dial this in.
Okay, so where do people shop for products? Okay, so when we talk about, we like to look at the chemotypes, right? So CBD is a chemotype 3. Think chemotype 3 is for me, right? It's has more CBD than THC in it. It's legal in all 50 states. Online, trusted CBD shops and boutiques, you'll find the CBD isolates, you'll find CBD broad spectrum, CBD full spectrum, for example, Bloom Hemp, right? And then we have high CBD cannabis products. It's chemotype 2. And this is where you find the 1-to-1s. You have to find these in the dispensary, which is the licensed supply chain. If you're in a caregiver market, if you're in a state that's legal, you can have a caregiver that can grow high CBD chemotype 2 types of formulations for you, make products for you, or you can do it yourself. And then high THC cannabis products is chemotype 1, is where you have more THC than CBD. And this is where you have to get this at a dispensary. Again, a caregiver market if you're in a legal state, and do it yourself. And so products patients purchase with various different types of products: topicals, tinctures, edibles, capsules, gummies, candies, drinks, sublingual strips, transdermal patches, suppositories, inhalation, flowers, oils, and concentrates. So there is a lot of different types of products in the market. The most important thing when you're shopping is to make sure that there is a certificate of analysis.
Yeah, and buying them from the licensed supply chain, and then also realize it's about stacking and forming your own toolkit with all of the above, right? And when patients say, which one should I try? Well, you need a tincture for the inside to give you that systemic activation. You need a topical on the outside to reduce your pain and inflammation on the local level. And you need to be able to have short acting and long acting, which again goes back to coaching and how we can help you build your best treatment plan to have a better quality of life.
Okay, so potential side effects are dose dependent. Biphasic nature, we see the biphasic nature of cannabinoids all the time, where low doses do one thing, high doses do something else. So CBD in particular, you can see somnolence and sedation. And this is from a study that was due in 2020 for childhood epilepsy. And so excluding trials focusing on childhood epilepsy, the only adverse effect was diarrhea. And so the interesting thing about this and the symptoms, the side effects of CBD in this particular study was that they did not choose to stop doing the study because the benefits of the CBD outweighed the side effects of a little bit of diarrhea. So Kanek's review clinical evidence suggests that CBD is well tolerated, presents a very good safety profile. Some may experience dry mouth. Some people may experience fatigue. Most interactions should be monitored with CBD dosing over 100 milligrams a day, but generally is very well tolerated with other pharmaceuticals. Anything that interacts with grapefruit, we always have consumers take the pharmaceutical first, wait 1 to 2 hours, then take your cannabinoid product second. And THC in particular is where we can see people get into more trouble with side effects. You can see dizziness, drowsiness, vertigo, ataxia, tachycardia. This is with high dose THC, putting consumers at risk for falls, especially those elderly. It can do changes in cognition, memory, attention, and concentration. Not saying that it's bad, but we have to balance it out with the rest of the plant. Some people may experience dry mouth, dysphoria with high doses, anxiety, panic, and nausea. The addiction withdrawal potential is less than 10%. Pharmaceutical interactions should be monitored with THC dosing over 20 milligrams a day. Again, if you need a pharmaceutical, you want your pharmaceuticals to work. So always take the pharmaceutical first and then wait. And this is particularly for those that are using oils in tinctures, capsules, gummies, or eating their cannabis as medicine. It's very different than inhalation. So, and then when we talk about side effects, we always like to talk about the side effect versus the effect, right? So for some patients, the side effect is actually the effect that they're looking for. So for dry mouth, the ALS patient welcomes that because they're drooling. The patient that has glaucoma actually welcomes the red eyes because it shows the vasodilatory nature of the cannabinoid product, promoting the decrease in intraocular pressure for glaucoma. The consumer that has nausea or cachexia actually welcomes the munchies and welcomes the increased appetite. The consumer that's hypervigilant or has insomnia actually welcomes drowsiness and sleepiness. The patient that has PTSD actually welcomes being a little forgetful. And the depressed patient actually welcomes the feeling of euphoria. So whole plant formulations, microdosing, and working with cannabis clinician decreases the potential for side effects. We want to minimize harms, maximize effects. And so that's why
And one more thing to mention is that almost all of these side effects are temporary, transient, and as you build tolerance for the plant and for these formulations, they tend to just dissipate or go away. For instance, anybody with diarrhea, as you're stepping up in dosing, you might see that on the CBD side, but then it fades away as your body gets used to these compounds. It's really an initial thing, as is all of the other things that we're thinking about with THC, the drowsiness, the dizziness, changes in cognition. As you build tolerance, those side effects tend to fade out.
And this is particularly too, if you're just using this isolated,
Yeah.
if you're just using a THC isolate,
Which nobody does.
Which
or
nobody-
they shouldn't.
they shouldn't. Yeah, it's generally, these are the things that you can see in particular.
There you
And then and it's particularly to some of the high concentrated oils that with cannabis cancer patients, I've had some cancer patients call me up and say, oh my God, I'm constipated now.
Yeah.
Well, it's because you're doing too much THC.
And if you start low and go slow as you ratchet up on dosing, you can do this in a controlled fashion so that, and working with us, you generally don't have any of these side effects. And the dry mouth that you might have from a brand new user with CBD oils, it really does fade in about a week or so.
Yeah. All right. So side effects.
So yeah, so shopping for safe CBD, you want something Green Nurse approved. You want that stamp of Green Nurse approved on it. So flowers, you want CBD from cannabis and flowering strains of hemp. And again, it comes in various formats. Transparency, doing good business practices, having a company with a functional website, their address, email, and phone, and customer service and support. You don't want somebody that is sending out 6 bottles at a time and putting you on a subscription like we've seen some horrible CBD companies doing. You want GMP, good manufacturing practice, generally recognized as safe, organic as much as possible. It has to be lab tested with the certificate of analysis to prove the potency, purity, freedom from contaminants and residual solvents. You want accurate labels, making sure that the potency and the serving size is really depicted correctly. These bottles can come in 300 milligrams, 3,000 milligrams. So is that dropper of CBD 10 milligrams or 100 milligrams? You really need to know to drive proper dosing. And don't go cheap. CBD is expensive to produce, and you want somebody doing it right, because this is medicine. This is not something that you're going to just buy at a gas station. Please do not buy CBD or any of these CBD intoxicants at a gas station. They're spinning out derivatives and delta-8 and HHC. Stay away from them. You do not need them at all as you're dosing for medicine. And then call the nurse line 970-404-HOPE or 4673 and talk to us or our pharmacist and get your tips.
Okay, so again, Green
As a
Nurse
recap.
yeah, this is Green Nurse approved formula. So this is particularly about Bloom Hemp in particular. So we are credible, we are reliable. This is doctor and nurse formulated CBD products, USDA organically grown from flowering strains of hemp for extraction, formulated in the United States with patient-centered business practices. We have full transparency, our website, our address, our email, our customer service, clinician, client support. We have a full ecosystem support clients and clinicians. Our method of extraction is supercritical CO2 extraction, which preserves the cannabinoids, terpenes, and flavonoids of the extracted plant material. This allows for consistency. Certificate of analysis on all of our products. Batch certificate of analysis is always found online. All of our products are lab tested. Every batch confirms the purity and potency and cannabinoid and terpene profiles and assures there's no pesticides, toxins, heavy metals, or contaminants. And the carrier oil for our products is gluten-free and vegan. We have hemp seed oil for our essential tincture line. This is cold pressed hemp seed oil, which is rich in omega fatty acids, along with folate, iron, zinc, vitamin C, and magnesium, making an ideal carrier for hemp CBD. We have MCT oil for citrus, natural, and our advanced tincture lines. MCT is a natural emulsion to help better absorb the other minor cannabinoids and the other botanicals in the product.
They're both healthy fats. And healthy fats increase the bioavailability, as opposed to taking this in an isolate. When you have a little bit of a healthy fat together with this, it increases it 4 or 5-fold from just the isolate.
Yes. So Bloom Hemp has the Green Nurse stamp of approval.
All right. So Focus. This is an exciting blend that we created to really optimize wellness. It can replace morning coffee. It is CBD, CBG, and THCV for focused energy and improved metabolic functioning with energizing terpenes and botanicals, 1,200 milligrams of CBD, 200 milligrams of CBG, and 200 milligrams of THCV. And we talked about that CB1, CB2 specialness in this blend. Also folding in botanicals. Lion's mane is enhancing cognitive support, neuroprotective, improves memory and retention, immune boosting, anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and boosting for the mood. Reishi is a very sacred mushroom, immune boosting, anti-cancer, antibacterial, antioxidant, lowering blood pressure and cholesterol, and can be very calming. And yerba mate, enhancing that mood, memory, mental alertness, motivation, and energy, antioxidant and anti-inflammatory, and sort of nature's coffee if you want to stay away from coffee. So this is the morning blend.
This is the morning blend. Generally don't like people to take this, in the evening.
No,
because
morning, breakfast and lunch.
Breakfast and lunch is generally the best time to take it. And we did a study, right? Our first real world evidence study. Focus study results are in. We partnered with the Canigma and the More Better Relief app. And we wanted to know if our Focus Hemp tincture could solve the 3 p.m. slump. We are the nurses that wanted to find this out. So we have a couple of different articles. Like I said, these are live links. The first Canigma article was talking about the history of THCV, why THCV, why we created this product, and how we wanted to do this study. And then the second Canigma article focused on our results. We're really, really excited. We're going to share those results with you in the next slide. And we also have the results on our website. We have the entire booklet on our website, that PDF, very, very transparent.
Yeah, just click on the research tab on the menu.
Yep. Results are in, and these are some of the results.
Yeah, so 52% greater productivity, 2.2 hours of greater productivity were reported by the users. Participants said that they were more likely to feel and be productive when taking the Bloom Hemp Advanced Focus Tincture. 40% had increased focus and concentration on tasks, irrespective of distractibility. So I did the study. My results weren't counted, of course, but I did the study, and it was really, could you block out some of the other distractions? Could you concentrate on your focused work, even if you had music, even if you had interruptions? And yes, it was true. 72% also had lower stress that they reported while they were taking focus, and 70% had improved mood. 78% said that this tincture surpassed their expectations, and 52% had decreased appetite, and 24% lost weight in the month of taking this focus product.
It's pretty good results.
Pretty good results.
Yeah, so Bloom Hemp Advanced Focus, and now we have Bloom Hemp Advanced Full Spectrum Trilogy Tincture. This is another formulation that Elizabeth and I created, and this was based on years and thousands of patients that we've taken care of. So we have full spectrum CBD with equal parts CBG and CBN for immune support, calming the central nervous system, cancer healing, soothing chronic illness, complemented with immune boosting terpenes and botanicals. Though 1,000 milligrams of CBD works on over 70 targets in the body. 1,000 milligrams of CBG, the mother of cannabinoids, is a CB2 agonist, non-impairing. CBN, 1,000 milligrams, both a CB1 and CB2 agonist, and then supported with botanicals, beta-caryophyllene, astragalus, oregano oil, and cinnamon. These are all CB2 agonists acting as an analgesic, anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer, antifungal, antibacterial, antidepressant, antioxidant, anti-proliferative, anti-anxiolytic, anti-epileptic, and neuroprotective. So very, very, very powerful formulation.
Beta-caryophyllene. And then the astragalus, the oregano oil, and cinnamon are also all CB2 agonists. And so this really is for people that have autoimmune conditions and cancer. It is my first choice for any of those patient populations. And then also people that are suffering from high levels of pain and insomnia. Taking this at bedtime is going to help usher in some reduction of pain so that you can sleep.
Yep. And also just had a consumer just write to me that she ran out of it and she could not believe how much this helped her PTSD.
Yeah.
So she microdoses this 4 times a day for complex PTSD, and it is totally downshifted and makes her feel, as she says, calm and normal.
And that was a good representation also. I ran out, and boy, do I notice how much it helped me. So this is the subtlety and the nuance of how cannabinoids work in the body. When you remove them and you stop taking them, the aches and pains come back, the insomnia comes back, the stress comes back, etc. And so you do want to get on that maintenance plan.
Oh, and then our favorite, this is a new one that we formulated.
Yeah, the T65 gummies, Total Healthcare. And this is amazing for people that are able to use a little bit of hemp THC in this formulation. And because it is packed with so much ingredients, such a high concentration of other ingredients, the 0.3% of THC still falls under that threshold of legal allowability. So this is safe and easy and accessible to everybody in all 50 states. So T65, so named for the 65 milligrams of cannabinoids, 50 milligrams of CBD, 5 milligrams CBG, 5 milligrams of CBN, and 5 milligrams of THC. Total healthcare formulated for complete care, especially those who are new to THC formulations. Symptom alleviation, float, crafted to be the gold standard in pain relief and mental tranquility, float into blissful rest, become a more social butterfly, or turn your pain into background noise. It's nutrient rich, packed with wholesome ingredients, elderberry coloring, and blueberry extract for a delightful, tangy sweetness, and a relief terpene blend. This is the pain blend, formulated with beta-caryophyllene, myrcene, alpha-pinene, delta-limonene, and it synergizes to offer that healing experience. We chose these ingredients for their synergies in setting the foundation for improved healing and pain management. And always less is more. Start with a half of one of these gummies for 2.5 milligrams of THC. As you acclimate and get used to that, then you can start using a full gummy maybe after about a week. But start with a half of a gummy and fold in some of the other CBD formulations as well as needed. This is an and or an or, but half of it a gummy at a time, which is really great and economical as well. There's 30 gummies here, so you can make that last for a month or two.
Yeah, really good bang for your buck for sure.
Yep.
Okay, so conclusion and invitation. We have an endocannabinoid system, not because of the cannabis plant, but because we make molecules in our body very much like the plant. Phytocannabinoids mimic our own endocannabinoids to restore balance. We care for the endocannabinoid system like it's the most important system because why? It regulates all the other systems, right? Cannabis is not the end all be all. It is a tool in the toolbox, acting as Elizabeth says, the pleiotropic workhorse, interfacing with multiple physiological systems at the exact same time. And as nurses, we teach harm reduction, education for safe consumption, and the holistic tools to properly care for the endocannabinoid system. Join us, trying some great CBD, spread the news, and help us to change the world.
So yeah, and what makes Bloom Hemp different? It's USDA organic hemp CBD, symptom-targeted formulations, a free nurse line, free email care plans. If you click on our QR code here, or you just go to the services tab on the menu, you can find a short intake form where we will reply with product recommendations and some lifestyle tips. There's a free network, which we'll come to next. And then there's affiliate and wholesale opportunities. Please help us share these products and formulations with your network, and we'll reward you for doing so.
Okay, and then our ecosystem at Holistic Caring and the Green Nurse. So Holistic Caring and the Green Nurse provides the structure and framework to hold the products and services patients need to be successful with cannabinoid therapeutics. So in our network, we have a network that's open to patients, open to providers, open to consumers, open to new people. It's run by nurses and our pharmacists for CBD education and lifestyle support. So network.holisticcaring.com. It's where we house our free introductory to cannabis course. This free course here is housed there, ABCS of CBD. We have a free patient portal, free 7-page medical cannabis guide. We put all of our clinical conversations, webinars, and podcasts into the network. Again, we offer free care plans. We have a free nurse line, and all of our holistic caring patient programs and provider programs are housed in the network.
And continuing education for nurses, 30 hours of continuing education for nurses to learn on the Cannabis Nurse Health Coach program. And then all of those mini modules Sherry mentioned as the patient programs, where we dial in specifics on how to use cannabis for cancer and mental health and epilepsy, autism, autoimmune, dementias, Parkinson's, etc. We have been writing forever. And this book was my first publication, Cannabis for Health, Become a Coach. And from there, that stemmed into all of the programs. But this book covers it all. You can buy it on the website at holisticcaring.com and really learn how to do this for yourself and then how to help others.
And then this is just a little bit about Elizabeth.
Okay, so yeah,
we're qualifying ourselves here to teach.
Yeah, just to wrap up, who the heck we are. I've been a nurse for 37 years. I've been in healthcare for 40, if you count my candy striper years in high school. Bachelor of Science in Nursing, Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. Spent my first 8-9 years in hospitals, then got my MBA in healthcare administration, spent the next 19 years in insurance companies, in between operations and sales. My last corporate position, I was the sales manager for Anthem Blue Cross for the County of San Diego, helping brokers work with employee benefits and their patients. And now I'm doing the same as we're training nurses and other healthcare professionals to help their patients and really creating what I call my cannabis HMO. And that's really important, and to give patients a better option for healthcare, because conventional care is flawed. It's not necessarily broken, but it's on life support half the time. And a third of all nurses want to leave the profession. So we're giving them another option. You've been in the hospital for 20, 30 years, come join us and do this work, etc. So I'm the CEO of Holistic Caring and the Green Nurse, as well as our nonprofit, Holistic Caring Inc., as well as Bloom Hemp CBD. I'm the past treasurer of the American Cannabis Nursing Association, director of health and treasurer for Los Angeles Normal, director at Coachella Valley Cannabis Alliance Network, a very robust cooperative out here in the Coachella Valley, and then also the co-host of Green Nurse Podcast. And I love doing that.
All right. And then just a little bit about me. So I've been a nurse since 1988, 35 years as a registered nurse, 25 years in the conventional system at the Boston hospitals, including critical care, oncology, pediatrics, hospice, home care, home infusion, and telehealth, 20 years in holistic nursing, combining nutraceuticals and energy healing and other healing modalities that support and nourish the endocannabinoid system, and 10 years in the plant medicine arena, cannabis, CBD, and psychedelics. I am proud to be the Chief Nursing Officer of Holistic Caring and the Green Nurse, Chief Nursing Officer of our nonprofit, 501c3 Holistic Caring Inc., and Chief Nursing Officer of Bloom Hemp. I'm founder and host of the Green Nurse Award-winning podcast, founding member of Cannabis Nurses Network, founding member of the International Association of Psychedelic Nurses. I'm currently serve on the board of directors of the American Cannabis Nurses Association as membership chair, and I'm a contributing author of Clark's Cannabis, a handbook for nurses. And so this just is a little bit
busy.
We are busy.
And we know what we're doing. And just a shout out to Holistic Caring Inc. If you go to holisticcaring.com, click the main button, you'll see a drop down, hit nonprofit. You'll see what we're working for and fundraising for. So if you're so inclined, donate. Every quarter, we give away a free cannabis nurse health coach program to nurses that apply. And the application process is right on the website as well. Free nurse line, free patient care and coaching. We have come to us and let us know if you need that. And then free cancer care items and other things that we're doing for patients that are not covered by insurance, that if we're working with patients and they need these things, we will donate and write a check to help cover that. So it's never too late to help somebody. So begin today.
And remember what it's all about. It's about living your best life and helping others do the same. Hope you enjoyed the ABCs of CBD.
Yeah. And thank you,
Nurse Sherry.
Nurse Elizabeth. God bless. And help us change the paradigm of healthcare.